Hello everyone. Today, my partner Matthew and I will be discussing online safety, its effects, and other features such as protection strategies, dangers, and warning signs. What is online safety? Online safety, by definition, involves the knowledge of maximizing the user's personal safety against security risks to private information and property associated with using the internet, and the self protection from computer crime in general. Online safety can affect anyone exposed to the online world and can often be strongly linked to mental health and well-being. Studies shown through research conducted by Michelle Ham, a researcher in pediatrics at the University of Alberta, and her team suggest that a shocking 23% of teens reported on have admitted to being targeted online. It was also found that about 15% reported bullying someone online themselves. This emphasizes how big cyberbullying is in today's society and how many people it can potentially affect. Forms of online safety do vary, which we will later discuss.
Now I would like to discuss some of the online dangers that may be affecting primary school children. Primary school children are able to use the internet for many different things, inside and outside of school. In relation to schoolwork, children are able to access many platforms such as journal articles and blogs to help them with their research for their work. However, these platforms can be seen as online dangers as many of these platforms may contain bias or have comment sections which could expose the child to discrimination, inappropriate language, or possibly cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is a term that is used to describe a form of aggression and abuse that occurs through modern technology and online services, such as social media, streaming websites, and many more platforms. This is very dangerous as it exposes children to a wide range of abuse from complete strangers and can abuse them when the child is defenseless. The biggest issue with cyberbullying is that it gives the abusers a wall to hide behind, as they can blindly abuse all types of people without any repercussions, as the victims, in this case the primary school children, is just sitting there hopeless and defenseless to all these types of abuse. One study found that amongst children in Europe, 19% of 9 to 16-year-olds claim they have experienced some form of cyberbullying, and within the previous 12 months. This study illustrates the threats that online bullying has and how many children experience it regularly, and goes to show that if school children are not safe online, they can experience this type of harassment continuously. Primary school children who have access to these platforms are most likely to be putting themselves in danger as online threats, then they need to take precautions. Now that we have discussed the online threats that primary school children are exposed to, I would like to discuss the online threats that secondary school children and even adults such as yourselves are possibly exposed to. Even though we are not primary school children, we are still very much indeed exposed to the same threats as primary school children, but on a more harsher level. As we become more opinionated and have different views and beliefs to everyone else, this may expose people to leave much more hateful comments while cyberbullying us than to primary school children, as we might be triggering a particular minority as they are looking to retaliate and expand our likeliness of being cyberbullied. However, these threats are just the beginning for secondary school children as well as ourselves. One of the new threats that is being exposed to secondary school internet users is sexting. Sexting is the act of receiving, sharing, or sending another person's photo, video, or text that they were sexually eliciting via social media or text. Sexting is different to most online threats, as if you are the one who is involved in the act of sexting, you are the one who is being an online threat to yourself, as well as to the one who is putting yourself at harm in both of the social aspect or in a criminal aspect. If a child either sends or receives or is in possession of a nude photograph of someone who is underage, that child can be criminally charged for being in possession of these images and can be put on the sexual offenders list. This plays a big part in your life as it ruins your likelihood of being able to be hired by certain employers, as is now on your criminal record. It will make you less likely to secure a job when you're older. As well as these photos could cause people to spread rumors about yourself and make the victim feel exposed, hurt, and very upset, which can play a large role in one's mental health. Another aspect of sexting is that it puts a child in danger of anyone can send anything to anyone online that is on their friends list, making everyone ultimately exposed to someone who sends a photo and leaves them defenseless to stop them, as well as makes the recipient feel taken advantage of, as well as being sexually harassed. Another threat that people use to expose these online dangers is stranger danger. This idea of stranger danger has been going around for long periods of time, and parents, educators, and other close friends and family have always discussed that people shouldn't talk to strangers or follow someone if they do not know them, and many other examples to ensure their safety. However, this new online world is now giving them access to more strangers than ever who are constantly contacting each other and making it easier for predators to be able to camouflage themselves behind these computer screens. A Dutch survey found that in early adolescence, people who are aged 12 to 14 are more prone to talking to strangers online than offline, clearly indicating that stranger danger is a much bigger threat online than it is offline, causing a larger threat to young children who are unaware of these issues. Some other studies have also shown that people who have poor social life in real life may try to compensate for this online, and doing so by becoming friends with many strangers who are largely increasing their chances to be in contact with a predator online and making them unsafe. This is a huge danger as for secondary students, as they are being put in these dangers of threats as they are camouflaging themselves, and different people truthfully could be older predators.
How to protect children and yourselves from these online dangers. There are many strategies that can be undertaken by parents, children, etc. to ensure optimal safety levels online. An article published in The Conversation by Ryan Broll, Assistant Professor at the University of Guelph, overviews 4 simple steps suggested by research that can help parents reduce the risk of their children's safety online. These steps include: 1. Accepting your child's online life. In today's society, it is generally found that children often find it more difficult than parents to distinguish their online and offline lives. This results in disagreements towards priorities and use of time. Although it may be hard to do for some, accepting your child's online life is the first and easiest step to ensure their safety. 2. Setting rules for online interactions. According to research, setting rules about when children can go online / what they can do and can't do is a simple and effective tool of prevention towards cyberbullying. 3. Teaching respect and responsibility online. Appropriate behavior online, often referred to as netiquette, is something that is simply a necessity for children to be taught by parents. Not only does it stop your children harassing others, but it also protects them from engaging in unsafe interactions. 4. Monitoring online activities. As technology is becoming more portable and accessible to children as time goes on, it is becoming harder for parents to visibly see what their children's online activity. Because of this, questions such as what site is that and who are you talking to can be great tools used to ensure safety. Many programs run by schools such as Kids Matter and Become a Cyber Professional are also great protection strategies used. As technology advances, cyber safety is becoming more important in society and more threatening to children. Although the threats are great, knowledge and skills developed to protect and prevent cyberbullying are increasing.